Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second episode of the Rendezvous Podcast. I'm here with Bangovich and Bodork. How are you guys today? You good?
I'm in
doing-
pain.
I'm good. Thank you. Why are you in
Good,
pain?
yeah. Yeah, why are you in pain,
Life
bro?
not good. Life not good. I am
No
I am in
elaboration.
tears. I am absolutely in tears.
You're in tears, but not
Yes.
about VCT LOCK, which has been going on over the past week. It's been a really enjoyable tournament to watch so far, and this is going to be kind of a shorter episode, going over what's already happened in the tournament, a few other stuff as well. But yeah, we're going to go over all the matches that have been played and just kind of give our thoughts. So let's get right into it if we're good to go.
Sure,
Yeah.
we are. All right.
So
Cool. So first match that happened, the very first day of lock-in, banger matchup, if I say
Yeah.
so myself. NRG versus Koi. Bangovich, how are you feeling, about this match? What were your expectations going in, and were they changed coming out?
I was low-key like hoping for Koi to upset Energy. We almost saw it. Like we have almost seen it. Like I was like very impressed by Koi, at least in the first half on Icebox. But Energy just has proven once again why like the Opticore was like so successful. I don't know, it was amazing, honestly. It was a banger series to like start things off. 9 free curs on the first map on LAN. Absolutely amazing. Gotta be honest, I was a bit disappointed that there was like single to no viewership within the venue. That would have been dope, I think. And yeah, generally, I think it was a very good opening. I think Koi looked promising in my books. And Energy, I don't know. Like, I think they could reach similar heights. Like, Som looked incredible. I gotta be honest. I did not expect Som to look so good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's obviously plays a different style to Marv, but it's that like his anchoring is seriously good. Especially after he got that ace. Before that, it was like, is he gonna play that well? Weirdly, out of the two like new players to NRG, Som and Ardis, I thought Ardis looked the most uncomfortable.
Actually, true.
But in the second
I
map,
feel like it was
he-
only Icebox
Yeah,
that he had like issues. I really liked on the second map what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's the kind of player who just silently top frags. Like he'll just end up top of the scoreboard, and you'll be like,
Yeah.
"Wait, I didn't even how?" But he's
Mhm.
just providing so much impact that you don't even necessarily see. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think they both look really good.
But
But-
overall, I wasn't a fan of some of the things Koi were doing.
Yeah.
I feel like Wolfen, he had a lot of good things, but he also like slowly started falling in confidence. I felt.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he was put on the duelist role. I do
Yeah,
think
me
he has
too.
so much potential on it. But overall, he just didn't really feel comfortable after the first map. And slowly started to choke, basically.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I had this impression of Wolfen. Like I don't know, I played in a team. We played in like tier 3 German league, and like I was the entry fragger, and I had similar issues back then, like where we like had like strats, and like I had to take certain spaces. Like, and I think Wolfen did this. Like every time you saw him with an idea, he was not just like randomly dashing in somewhere. It was like always like for a bigger picture. And you could see that, but he could never get the opening. Like never. Like his stats overall was 10 to 13 in first kills first death. So he got 10 openings, okay, but he also died 13 times first. And like generally he had minus 10 in KD. So it wasn't the best series of him. I think he was definitely trying to like help the team with his role, like doing what he was supposed to do. But sadly, like he just couldn't get the frags. And at the end of the day, this is something you have to get the frags as well. Like 0.75 rating. The lowest player on the side of Energy was Victor with 0.98, so almost a positive rating. So, I mean, that's a big gap.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, it'll be interesting to see, like, because it's obviously going to take him some time to go from playing in the VRLs and stuff, where he was playing at home, whatever. It's going to take him some time to adapt to that. And it'll be interesting to see if Koi just go, yeah, let's just get someone, another different tier 1 duelist. But I don't know who exactly there is right now that they would sign.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think they should just keep him and keep going with what they were doing, because I think they could be good in EMEA. So
I agree.
I do think during the regular season he will become more comfortable. Like overall, Koi, like
Yoi.
overall, they exceeded my expectations because
Okay.
like my expectations were of course low, as you remember from the last
Yeah.
episode. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
high on Shadows.
Yeah.
And overall, I feel like Shadows has proven that he is still a pretty good player.
I agree.
Trex was
Yeah.
absolutely carrying, bro.
Yeah.
That was absolutely man was carrying. That's
I
for
think he
sure.
was the MVP on the map, but if Koi would have won, he would have been the MVP 100%. And even
Yeah.
despite the loss, I think there was an argument to be made that Trex was the best player on the server. But
Yeah.
like insane clutches, and like I don't know, he was 275 ACS Sova only. Like what?
Yeah.
Like,
But it's interesting to see, like, when you watch teams play who have a core. Well, I guess they only really have Barber and Cordamenta and Trex,
Mhm.
but Cordamenta I think got 0 kills on that defensive half in Icebox, and obviously kills aren't everything, but that was kind of what
Ooh.
happened when on Guild, where it's like
Yeah.
But
But
as soon
then
as
when you look
stuff
at
goes
Icebox,
downhill,
like the top performer for NRG was Sob.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
he
there's still like, especially when you are on the Viper role, you also gotta bring some impact.
Yeah.
And sure, he
Ooh.
had some assists, but like overall, his positioning and just generally like his played strats on the Viper were a bit questionable, especially on the defense.
I seriously
Um,
think that there's an argument to be made that Smokes is not one of the best roles to IGL on. I feel like
Uh-huh.
yeah,
now Sentinels are back in the meta, because you get that passive information that you can also like call off.
yeah,
There's some of the Smokes players we have that aren't IGLs. You think Pancada, Mako, Bang, like
Mhm.
Scary, Som in this match, right?
yeah,
Marved. Um,
Yeah.
these guys are like providing so much impact from their controller role. But I feel like when people IGL, there is just so much to focus on that you
Yeah.
can't always provide that impact.
yeah. I'll say like overall, I feel like Astra is maybe the only Smokes role where I would be comfortable to have an IGL working. But also Viper is generally really good to call on.
hmm,
But that's also because like you can actually like put up the walls when you actually need it, so you don't
Mhm.
need to tell a player to do it.
yeah.
But yeah, I do agree that like maybe the Sentinel role will now be better for IGLs. I mean, like we already
Yeah.
have done it for a while on Hookars, and it's effective for us at least. But it really depends on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. But also like putting up the Viper versus Viper, like if you just look at the Zom, like how Zom played on Icebox versus Coldamenta, and like it's like day and night. This is the most brutal like comparison you could make. Like I don't even want to bring up the numbers, but like 24-13 from Zom and like 5-19 for Coldamenta. Like this is, I don't know, like this is just brutal. The difference is brutal on this one. But yeah, maybe perhaps that was the point which like was leaning well, like or giving the map to energy towards energy. It's like crazy to think.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's his first map on LAN as well. Like
Yeah.
this
yeah,
guy's
exactly.
not well, obviously he's been to LAN and CS:GO and stuff, but in Valorant, this is his first LAN map and he drops 24. Like
Yes.
24 and 13, that is a star performance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean, like
he's won
what
them that map
people
really.
have forgotten is like Som is a good ass player. Just because he was playing on NRG and NRG unfortunately didn't have that much success. You got to remember the dude has been on a lot of LANs in CS,
Yeah.
and
Also,
he was basically a top player when he switched to Valorant.
it's like
So
the streaming fallacy as well, because
yeah,
he's streamed a lot. It's
Yeah,
like
he's a
true.
streamer.
like if Tarek started playing now, it would just be kind of seen as a bit of a joke because he's got such a big presence on stream, and Som kind of had that where he's been a streamer for so long, and obviously he's been playing competitively, but like you said, NRG weren't ever like really really good. So
Yeah,
but yeah, I think he was a standout player in this series, and he won them that Icebox map really.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
truly.
yeah, great performance from him. Okay. The next match was Destination versus Giants. I don't think we need to spend too long on this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Subway Giants did a good job.
Those
I'll be honest.
jerseys. Oh no.
Their jerseys, like I understand why they were made and everything. But
Yeah.
like, come on.
Mm.
It literally looks like a Subway uniform.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It literally does. And they have the Burger King logo on it, which like give it
Yeah.
the fast food vibes as well, right?
And
Like
it's legit like it's the biggest logo on the entire jersey. So you're like, this is Burger King gaming, I guess.
I mean, I appreciate them not going for a black and white thing because we do have
Yeah.
like NRG, Heretics, like so many.
I mean, Heretics have
teams
like
with
that
those colours,
yellow
but-
kind of tint kind of stuff. Like, why is Heretics' jersey? It looks like something my grandma would have laying around on the ground.
Yeah, if we're talking about jerseys, we got to
Just
mention
a
Loud's
carpet.
jersey. It just looks odd, in my opinion. But anyway,
I really like Loud's jersey. I'll be honest. I'm a fucking sucker for polos. All right, you can see it right here. I
but
mean,
it's got,
But it's
it's
not a
got
polo.
half
I mean, come
zip
on.
it. It's got like a half zip on it though. Like
but
I don't
that's
know.
kind of good. That's kind of
I mean,
banging.
It's a special edition, anyways, right?
I mean,
it's just lock-in
on some
lock-in
vibes,
jerseys.
Okay.
I
I
kind
do
of
think it fits the Brazilian vibes. To be
yeah,
fair.
I'm kind
Yeah.
of feeling like it looks like a Burger King uniform. But
Wait,
it
the
is their
Loud
meat
one?
sponsor. Yeah, the Loud one.
Yeah.
It's basically just a recolored Burger King one, but it works. It works for me.
So basically, lock-in is the tournament of the Burger King jerseys, yeah? The fast food
100
jerseys.
I'll make a tier list out of like all teams, and I'll only really like judge people off of their jerseys.
We'll do
And
a
people are
jersey-
just gonna
jersey tier
ask,
list
like,
next episode.
We do that next time,
Why do
yeah.
you have this player X and all of that and like jersey?
Yeah. All right.
So, but I wasn't impressed by Detonation at all. Unfortunately, Sealdom doesn't seem like he is really like a LAN player.
You want to talk
I'm
about
sorry
your
to say
tweet?
I don't want to talk about my tweet.
Oh, that was so funny. Like when you tweeted like he's trying to drop 30 and they just benched him.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that was
also, like
hilarious.
when you
Yeah.
look at the results and everything, everybody went into minus except Takajay, who was exactly 0
Yeah.
on his rating.
But
It
he
was
did only
like,
play one match.
True,
though.
yeah.
yeah, true.
Mm.
So, but Takajay did a good job. I'll be honest. Like he was
Yeah.
a standout player.
Wow.
I mean, it's
I
difficult to
wasn't-
judge like Sealdam on one map.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I just think overall they just don't have the structure yet, which is fair enough. I mean, they probably only signed their roster like 2-3 months ago, but
Wow.
But I also wasn't
Yeah.
that much impressed by Giants overall.
No, but
I
like,
like the way that they
um,
did their attacking side and stuff, and
Yeah.
you could tell they'd set up protocols, which is more than some of the other teams that we
Mm.
saw, especially later in the tournament, like Heretics and stuff. You could tell that they'd actually worked on that.
Yeah.
But I just
Utility wise,
don't
I just
don't like their vibe, man.
yeah. Utility wise, I just feel like Cloud is carrying a lot.
oh yeah, Cloud. Oh, it was
Yeah,
the
if we
day
wanna
of the
talk about
Sova players.
debut- Yeah, if we want to
Exactly.
talk about debut maps on LAN, I mean, that guy was just crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
And also
372 ACS on the first map. 1.96 rating,
Boy was
LAN
farming.
debut. Oh, but he was farming in CIS. He was farming every time you saw him on
Yeah.
Navi back then. Like he was the only player where I was like, if Navi if Navi would have kept him, I would understand. I would have
Yeah.
understand that.
mm,
He was crazy.
So, but overall, like Giants look alright. I feel like they're maybe a little
Yeah.
bit overhyped. I still need to see more
Did-
from Nuki's role as like an initiator.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if the team is flexible enough, I can see them going far.
Yeah.
2-4.
Mm.
Like for me, the only thing I'm considering is like maybe it was also like this type of thing. Like Detonation didn't really challenge them, so and like Giants didn't really have to show that much or like go
Yeah.
very crazy. They were just like I don't know, just doing as much as they need to win it, and it was apparently enough to have crossfires and like some okay executes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really sad because
Um,
in the Pacific League, I don't think Detonation will make top 3 or top 4. So this will probably be like one of the last times we see them on LAN in like
Yeah,
years, probably,
internationally, yeah.
which is a shame. But we'll have to see if they can. I'll be intrigued to see if they can get higher than Zeta Division in the Pacific
Yeah,
League.
I do think that like some changes are needed.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not I'm not sure if like I'm kind of scared that Sealdom might be
Mm-hmm.
the player who loses a spot because like he has some sort of LAN jitters. I'll be honest. Like he had the same thing at the One Pro invitations
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
where he just didn't perform. I mean, yeah, he got 10
Yeah.
kills and like his stats were really low, and then he got replaced the next match. So overall, I'm just not really. I expected more from Seodom. That's just
Yeah.
the gist of it.
Yeah. Giant's good. Shieldam mid. Detonation didn't look that good.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much the summary of that one.
All right.
Well,
All
next
right.
was supposed to be Genji versus
Okay,
Loud, but are we
so-
going to go in order of? Are we going to go in order of the bracket, or are we going to go in order of
let's
how
just
they
start
played?
with this. Let's just take this one because like I have to rep it. I have to rep it. I'm sorry. Like okay, here it comes. All right.
Boom! That looks actually
All
clean.
right.
That jersey looks
Ah.
clean.
Away with the frog hoodie. There we go. All right. So I hecking love Genji.
Oh yeah.
I
Agreed.
that's like the selling point this match. I really love Genji. I wasn't mad about them losing or anything. Like
No.
they really showed that they can be really good. And I do think that like overall their strategy was more about countering the defaults, and when Loud didn't do defaults, they sort of felt behind. So I do think overall they're gonna be a good team, but they
Hell yeah.
gotta learn to adapt. That's
I-
kind of the gist I got from
Yeah, I really want to see Genji make it to the lands, like
Yeah.
because they showed potential in the way that like if they go back to their Pacific League, I mean, you talk about countering defaults. Their main competition, which is probably going to be DRX, are like the default team, aren't they? So
Yeah.
if they can keep that up against those top teams in the Pacific League, I can see them being towards the top. And they were one of the teams where you go, if they had another matchup in the first round, they're just winning. They're winning that, and then they move on. But it was unfortunately Loud.
A prediction I have is they are going to get first seed in Masters Tokyo.
What they're
So
going to
like
finish first?
So like the
in
regular
Pacific
season,
League.
they are gonna like be first. For Tokyo.
Wait.
Wow, that's a prediction and a half.
That's wild.
Because the thing is, they are so heavy on like default countering, and APAC is basically just defaults. It's only really Paper Rex.
Yeah, 9 wins and 1 loss to Paper Rex.
Yeah. So it's only really Paper X that will be an issue for them, I feel. DRX, they are very strat heavy.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm
that looked
kind of
amazing as well. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like Genji might be the kryptonite for DRX.
okay.
That would be so cool to see. I think just finally having a team from Korea who can rival DRX, because T1.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
I
but-
still
Yeah,
have
we'll have
hope
to
in T1, but
Yeah,
I
me too.
gotta see. I gotta see what they have in store for lock-in.
Honestly, like I have a lot of hope for T1 as well, but after seeing that performance by Genji, I was not expecting that. I gotta be brutally honest. I was thinking like it will be like a 2-0, like it was a 2-0 map score, right? At the end of the day, but like I was thinking like 13-6, 13-7 maybe, like Genji looks okay. But that was like on both maps, like Genji looked good. On both maps, Genji could have won the map. And like the players, like they were snappy, the strats were there, like it was just a full package. I was so surprised, but positively, and I enjoyed that match so much. It was one of the best matchups for me, maybe the best, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That fracture at least was the best map of the tournament. And like also the comebacks, like I don't know, like the one map, like Pearl, it was 4-0 for Genji. Then Genji went 8 rounds in a row of that insane boost, like jet boost, jet knife on Aspas.
It feels like they were just looking at Loud what they were doing, and when they basically just found out, okay, Aspas is doing all the carrying here. There isn't like a lot of utility being used. They just like kind of realized, okay, they're just playing defaults right now. Let's just counter that.
By the way, there was a timeout at 4-0 from Genji, and afterwards they won all the rounds. So that timeout must have been like, guys, he's doing that, just do that instead. And boom, amazing. Like it just proved like from the coaching stuff towards the players, Genji has a very high ceiling in my books.
Elba Putty and Bale is just like an S tier coaching staff. I'll be honest, like that's a really good coaching staff that is gonna bring players to the next level. You gotta remember, Bale was a part of Northception. So like he already has like a track record of making talent work at tier 1 level.
And like bringing in people like Elmer Puddy, I feel like this is what I'm excited to see with GE, is combining, those cross cross global international rosters. Like I think it has a real chance of creating
And the
something
thing is,
great.
like Chris, he wasn't at Sao Paulo, so it was Bale who was like coaching there.
Oh,
But
really?
as far as I know, Elma Putty is gonna be the one who's like going to be the head coach
Okay.
during officials and all of that.
Cool.
So
yeah,
we
it
haven't
was
we
great.
haven't seen everything yet.
And
And
the way that they managed to calm
honestly
down
exciting.
the way they managed to calm down their mental as well after losing
Yeah.
those first 4 rounds, like you said, that timeout. Not only did they explain the strat, but somebody must have said, "Okay, we're on stage, just calm down.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fine." And I love the way that in their pre-match interviews as well, they just said like, the only way to get past those is to win. Like that's what we're gonna do. And they almost proved it. I mean, the 12-10 up on Fracture, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm officially a Gen G stan.
I think I'm gonna be supporting them in the Pacific League as well as Global Esports. Hello, NGG fighting. But they seem like a great team. They got
Love it.
star players, good synergy, great branding, in my opinion. So yeah, and Loud. I mean, there's not much to say. They played well.
Honestly, the new pickups basically.
Good. I'll be honest. Okay, so this is like when you look at Pearl, you saw like 4 agents being used, which were really interesting. Sky, Killjoy, Viper, and Harbor. I think this is gonna be the next meta, where you just are gonna, for the most part, there's just gonna be like Sky, Killjoy, Viper, Harbor on nearly every single map, and then you flex Duelist between it. I feel like that's gonna be the next meta because those agent picks, they will work on every single map.
I feel like the lack of a KO. I feel like people will want to play KO though.
Yeah, but like
potentially.
I kind of feel like that just opens up. Like for example, I feel like Sky is just kind of slept on. Sky is like both a recon agent and a flash agent. And since the nerfs, I still play Sky. I still get like a high win rate, and when every single time when
out the
people
ranked stats for this.
Yeah, and like every single time that people play Sky, I haven't seen somebody go negative on Sky.
I mean, Echo did. Echo did on Sky right now. But like, no, I see your point with the like, I think it makes sense. But honestly, neither in the K Corp match or here, like the Harbor pick really was sold to me. Honestly, I was not a big fan. Like, I mean, it was all right. It wasn't horrible, but I didn't see anything crazy where I was like, yeah, this Harbor pick, like for this set strat, it makes so much sense, and no other agent could fill the void. Like you need Harbor for that. I have not seen anything like that. So I'm not sure if Harbor really is the truth, even though his orb is good.
Okay, so you haven't seen the match of Hookars playing Harbor on Icebox with Euro.
Come on.
No, I haven't. I actually haven't.
Harbor is the truth, all right? Harbor is the truth.
On Icebox, you said?
On Icebox, yes.
Yeah, I have heard some scrim leaks and stuff like that he's like kind of filling the replacement for the Sage wall, right?
Yeah. But not that much actually. I feel like Sage is still a must pick, so for me, it's probably gonna be we're closing in on like no duelist comp for Icebox that could work, and implement Viper and Harbor together.
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of like the way that I'm leaning towards, because like I'm slowly realizing that Euro wasn't the best pick. We won a match, sure, but like that Euro ain't working.
But speaking of Harbor and Sky, Kaunzine and Tui's playing them on Pearl. I mean, they looked. I mean, Kaunzine especially looked seriously good. And that round where they won, I think it was a 2v5, that was just like, okay, like these guys they're gonna fit. To me, that was the round where I went, okay, this is it. They're gonna just fit into this Loud roster and be good. Obviously, I don't know if they're gonna be as good as Sassy and Pancada, but Kaunzine, he did some convincing.
Surely. I'm convinced. I'm convinced that the pickups were good. I think honestly Loud looked pretty good. I think first land for them as well in a while. Kwanzin and Toys, like it's a debut for them as well. And I think if playing in front of such a home crowd, I mean it's a buff, but it's also pressure. So I think they handled it pretty well, and like they showed resilience. They had a very tough opening match. I think Loud looks good.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
And
So.
they showed it and they won. And they're through to face the winner. Well, we know the winner is, but the next match, which was, I mean, I called it the toilet bowl on my Twitter.
I mean,
FPX versus Carmine Corp.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hated this match.
Honestly,
I loved it for all the wrong reasons.
I was in pain every single time. Okay, so like I like that Carmine Corp went with no duelist comps, but come on, use your fucking abilities.
Yeah, especially on Pearl.
You're picking initiators, right? You're picking initiators, but you don't use them.
Yep.
Then just pick a jet. Then just let Scream go brr. Just pick Reyna or something.
Yeah.
Scream is just cooking, man, but it's not good. He's just burning the food, man. What are you doing?
Aim.
They won by aim, but they didn't play any duelists. It like made no sense.
They basically just tried to get like early duels, like on Lotus especially. They always were like just fighting A main, like with like take duels, and like they win the gunfight because they're the better aimers. That was basically their defensive strat. And like on the attack, I was suffering. On Pearl attack, I was suffering.
I was in pain.
Really, like they have so much.
Lotus was also like, oh no. Like it may be that like FPX lost like 6-13, but it still looked very cringy.
Yeah, like maybe what I gotta say though, like I think Carmine Corp, they look structured. It looks like, I mean, like that was at least the true part from Scream where he said like they're gonna approach a structured game. I wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting something else.
When I look at them, it looks very CS heavy. Where they are more focused on their positions and aim rather than their abilities that they can use.
I think the one thing that I took away from it in terms of positives for Carmine Corp was Nevera still looks incredibly good.
Yeah.
The only problem is, should he just be playing the op role? Yeah, he kind of was though on Omen.
Yeah, he basically was on Omen op,
but he looks really good.
I guess.
I don't mind it.
I liked it when they had double controller. I liked it a lot because even if Nivera falls, like they still have a second whatever, like a Viper or a Harbor to like back up the smokes if they want to execute. But on the one map, there was one map where Nivera was solo smokes and he got picked off. I think it was on Haven actually. Yeah, it was on Haven actually. He got picked off sometimes at the start of the round, and basically these were the rounds where FPX just won for free because there was no smoke. So I didn't like it on Haven when he's the solo controller being the op player for the team. On the other maps, I really liked it, and I mean Nivera like made it work. He looked like sublime on the op. He was hitting the shots. He was hitting crucial shots. Like generally like he was definitely playing very good for me. I mean, Shin had the best stats, but personally, from what I've seen, Nivera, very impressive performance.
I feel like you can't. For me, it's like if FPX, they obviously went for a kind of, okay, let's catch them off guard with Lotus. You know, let's just try and aim diff them on a map that won't have many strats. But they actually I think they actually looked quite good on Haven with some of the retakes that they were having. They were able to pick Nivera off, come in, you know, trade effectively. Their gunplay was actually very good, in my opinion. But they just didn't have...
it is surprising.
Pacific
just
Valorant
2 players I
tends
wasn't
to
really
have that.
impressed by. Nuzera, I wasn't impressed by, especially his ability usage. He seemed like he just wanted to peek some stuff and then he died. So he wasn't really like, he didn't have the aim. That's the issue. And the other person was surprisingly Scream. He was on the initiator role on the flash, but I saw sometimes where like his flashes didn't make any sense. Like, why would you flash that?
I gotta talk about the flash later. Not for that game.
But, no.
But I gotta say, but Scream had his IGLing debut. What do you think of that?
I wasn't impressed.
I think they will get
that was
rolled by any competitive team.
Any structured team rolled. easily.
Not that FPX. Yeah, structure is a better word. Not that FPX
Mm.
weren't competitive, but they just don't. You can tell they just don't quite have the structure behind them that
FPX
other
is
teams
new,
do.
so they were still behind when it comes to meta, actually.
And I get that Carmine Corp are a new roster, but Scream and Navera, like, they're not new. You know, they've been playing for a
Same
while.
with XMS. I mean,
Yeah,
he has a lot of experience in Valorant already.
Yeah,
And like
true.
at the start, I was like at the start when XMS joined Valorant and started competing, he was god awful, like actually a dog. But now he actually looks pretty good, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see how far he will go.
for me, it's like, I get you want a French-speaking roster.
Yeah.
I think the
Oui.
obvious thing to do in the off season was to pick up Enzo,
Yeah.
which they didn't do for some reason. And
Apparently, PM, like the head coach, said they didn't even consider.
Yeah, they didn't
which
consider.
I 100% think is bullshit.
what? They
Yeah.
must have done.
I don't believe that
Yeah.
at all. I'm going to guess Carmine Corp went over and asked how much Enzo would cost with the buyout back when he was still on Fnatic, and it was just too high for them because like they are also not really that big on an organization financially. And that's when like it didn't really work and all of that. So that's probably why they didn't pick Enzo.
I just worry that like this will not be the roster that will take Carmine Corp with their massive fan base, you know, to these international tournaments.
Yeah.
Especially if we get a tournament in France and Carmine Corp aren't there. I mean, that would just be so.
Yeah.
You know, that would just be so veg. Like
absolutely veg.
Yeah. I think you just like it's difficult. You can't really sign Enzo now because he's on Apex. But if you did, you know, he was an IGL before and he joined Fnatic and he was secondary IGLing on there as well. So, you know, I just think they've got it. I think they've just got it all wrong.
Like
and I think they will lose to Loud.
Yeah, like, and if they lose, I think they're. But honestly, like a positive maybe is like I think they're one roster move away from having a decent roster because I think the talent on the team is decent, and if they get a proper IGL, I'm not saying I think Scream looked alright on the IGL, but nothing crazy.
I just think
but he on he needs a second caller, and he needs to be on the duelist. He's one of the best duelists in the world for 2 years in Valorant, and then he's just playing Sky and KO, where he like always looked like mediocre on Liquid. Honestly, like I don't know.
Here's my hot take.
Oh no.
Try Navera on Duelist.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Please. I've seen him one time on Duelist in scrims, and he looked good. Like, absolutely good.
He played Chamber on Liquid, and he looked like pretty insane, actually.
Yeah.
But they had Yampy as well who wanted to play it, so I get that. But I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I think it's actually Nivera who doesn't want to, because I recall some conversations like I had and like I heard that basically Nivera and Yampy, like Yampy is the aggressive guy and Nivera is the guy who rather plays like methodologically and like slow and like off like the team and stuff like that. I think
that's pretty good in this meta right now.
Yeah. I mean, he can. I could see him definitely on the duelist. Nivera has the skill, like 100%. He could do that, and I think what Carmine Corp needs is a bit of an entry to get on sites actually, so they don't have to shift walk it and like don't use utility, and that would solve a lot of issues.
Ain't gonna help you entry, so.
And having a secondary caller or even like an IGL who's like really good on it, I think Carmine Corp would just get up a tier immediately. But maybe like I don't know, we have to see against Loud, but like
I think if they had a duelist in that first match, I think I don't think it would have looked good, because
really
when the top duelists in the world are set up so well that you don't even really notice the setup, and it looks like they're just playing incredibly. But if you watch that game with Gen G, you know, Meteor and Echo as well on the Neon on Fracture, I mean, they're getting set up by flashes, they're getting set up by stuns, it's everything. But Carmine Corp's utility wasn't good enough to be able to set someone up to the point where they would have looked good, I think. I think they would just gone into site and got boomed, and then Carmine Corp, you know, get stuck behind a smoke or something. So I think like maybe Scream went, okay, let's just like not use a duelist because I don't know if it wasn't working, or like whatever it was. But I don't think it would have saved them. I think they actually maybe would have played worse if they'd have put Scream on a duelist right now.
Right now I agree. But if they have an IGL, I could see that. But like, right now, like him being the duelist, being the IGL, I agree.
And I think there's a difference between an IGL and a shot caller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like Scream, when people talk about Scream and Nookie, like, who's the best fragging IGLs? Scream and Nookie. But maybe Scream's a bit more of an IGL now because he's done it for a while.
But also, Nookie isn't calling anymore.
Yeah, exactly. When he was on G2, I think he's more of a caller. He's a shot caller, But in-game leader, it's like, they pour through. It's like, I think of Bosa, I think of FNS, I think of Quartermenta, I think there is a difference there. We'll have to see if Scream goes full into the IGL kind of role, or if they do get someone in. But
man, we're running on a tangent right now, so I feel like we need to like quickly change it up.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, BBL versus DRX. Low key, I told you guys, BBL looking good.
Agree, 100%. I'm convinced.
I told you guys, Sochi is a good IGL.
Their stonks have gone up. You were right.
Yeah,
you were right.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. Unfortunate that they couldn't take the win, but I think it's
that pro map. Wasn't a fan.
They tried something and it didn't work.
What's up with people using Yoru on Pearl? It doesn't make any sense.
Honestly,
they saw Ye do it one time.
Or G2. I think G2 looked amazing on Game Changers, right? G2 goes in.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe that performance was it.
I mean, I feel who also played on Pearl? EG, Ethan.
Yeah.
But also in that, like that was. I don't know why you would pick Yoru over, like, I'll say this right now, Phoenix is going to be meta on Pearl.
100%. You said this last week as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know
why they picked Yoru instead. Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, you have the TP, so you can basically anchor on both sides, also, like be flexible as the Yoru, like helping on A and B at the same time, basically.
I feel as if people were expecting they were allowed to use those like flashes that you can't really see. Have you seen those lineups where it's like flashes that you can't even see like rise up before they flash?
Yeah.
But I from what I saw in the rulebook, we aren't allowed to use those. So that's kind of something that I think some people wanted to like test out. But then they weren't allowed to, but it was already too late. But yeah, I just wasn't a fan. There needed to be more lurking from Yoru. Yoru is like a duelist that needs to lurk. Yeah. But then you also need to fucking lower his like teleport sound.
That's true.
I think, in terms of BBL DRX looked good as always.
Yeah.
And especially if, I think before the episode, Bo, you said that Foxy9 came in, short. Oh, well, no, sorry. Zest came in short notice for Foxy9, who didn't end up wanting to play or it
was more also like, I believe there's an interview with Termi where he explains the decision of playing with Zesh to start off. I believe he's playing on the next match, which should be interesting.
What, Foxy9?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a feeling he's going to play against C9.
Oh boy. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that matchup.
So, but for Zest to come in at short notice and them to look like that, it just shows they're still really good.
Yeah. And like honestly, like from what I've seen of DRX that day, they looked at parts perfect. Like it was gorgeous Valorant, and like BBL still like stood a chance. Like on Ascent, definitely on the of course, like it wasn't the best like they did, like I don't know, it wasn't the closest performance, but I think the map score doesn't really do justice of how good BBL looked. This is like my main takeaway. BBL definitely looked way better than the score suggests. On Ascent, you could see it. On Haven, they were competitive. On Pearl, they sadly got like stomped, but that was also mainly due to the fact that DRX, I think on that day, on that Pearl, everyone would have lost against DRX, not just BBL. So generally, BBL impressed me. I'm investing in the stonks. Like you got it. Like you sold them to me now.
DRX is winning Sao Paulo.
Oh, you jinx them, bro. Oh, I'm so sad.
I'm not going to jinx them. You can't jinx DRX. That's the thing.
Yeah, true.
I think it was the ease of which BBL came in with the Yoru. It's a new idea.
Yeah.
DRX might not have seen it. They might have seen it before in scrims, but not a lot. And the ease with which they just dealt with it. Yes. They didn't even.
I mean,
they were not phased.
here's the thing. Okay, pro players suck at Euro. That's just a simple thing. They feel like it's just
It's
a
cooking.
similar duelist. It's not, okay? It's a lurking duelist, so you gotta use it that way. You should not use it as a Phoenix. You should not use it as like a initiator or something. It's a duelist that needs to have so much support and also be able to get behind the enemy's backs.
Bro, they should just sub you in, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
No. They should sub in like my coach Andreas. We had like a period where one of our players couldn't play, so Andreas was playing, and he was always picking Yoru, and it worked. It absolutely worked. People were seriously asking if we were playing with some sort of like legendary CS:GO player, because he was like fucking on the Yoru.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But DRX looked good, and BBL, I think what will be really interesting is if EMEA do win this tournament, if Na'Vi or Liquid or Fnatic or whoever it is, Giants even, if they win this tournament, that 4th spot in the EMEA League,
Oh yeah.
I think Koi have a shot, I think Giants have a shot, I think BBL have a shot, Heretics do not have a shot, but we'll get to that. So I think the race to 4th in Europe will be interesting if they...
I agree.
But yeah, so I thought this was a very enjoyable game to watch.
I agree.
And DRX, we'll have to see if Foxy9 does play in the next game. And I think if he does, that will be really, really hype.
Yeah. Speaking of the next
Alright.
game, the next game,
up.
like their potential opponent would be like PaperX or Cloud9. And yeah, Cloud9 made it through in I don't know, surprisingly very convincing fashion to me, because I thought that match would be closer. Like honestly, my first intention was like map free banger, all maps close, like, or maybe each team wins their individual map pick and then the third map will be a banger with OT, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah. It was a wipe, really.
Really, yeah.
You know, just 2-0 sweep.
My takeaway
12 rounds.
My takeaway from this match is PaperX were cooking too much.
Yeah.
And if you say
that
they were cooking too much, you're like the guy who's just cooking all the time, right? Then it's true.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were a bit too chaotic, and maybe too much on the book. Usually PaperX is way more flexible, but it feels like they wanted to test out a lot of things during the officials.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think that PaperX took this tournament as serious as people think.
In a lot of their interviews, they were saying that we don't want to just be the team who just aggresses all the time.
Yeah.
And it almost felt watching it, it's like it almost felt that they had the part of them that wants to play a bit more defensive, that wants to rely a bit more on, set strats.
Yeah.
But then they also had the part of them, it's like schizophrenia, where like Forsaken would just push something or Jing would just peek when he didn't need to, and that would have worked before because it was supported with util, but because the other players on the team are going, or like even those players are saying, like, wait, no, I need to play more passive, but then they're still got those aggressive tendencies. Like,
not just tendencies, like there was this one round on Lotus, the C execute, like Jing double satchels in, he's covered by a Sage wall, like there's everything flying around perfectly. He goes onto side, has a race ult, gets 2 kills, and afterwards they're not going for post plant. No, they just push it down like to like mid B, I don't know, and like all of them just die for no reason because they cannot let loose of the W key. I have the feeling like they cannot stop, and this happened so many times. Like they just couldn't stop the aggression, and I have missed like some pace changes here and there where you would say like, okay, we have to get off the gas just a little bit to like maybe like I don't know catch Cloud9 off guard, but they didn't do any of those. They just W keyed it, send it, tried to went hero mode. I don't know, sometimes it worked, but mostly it didn't, because Cloud9 is just like they have the players to counter it, they have the players to win aim fights. Like it was brutal.
This performance just overall kind of makes me scared of how they will perform in the regular season.
Oh, PaperX.
Yeah.
It will be interesting because it's not really that long until it starts.
That they might not qualify. That's like the kind of thing.
After seeing Gen G and Talon, I think like it's not as easy as it. Like I don't know. Before going into the split, I was like, yeah, PaperX, DRX, 100% locked in for lands. But now that I say Talon and Gen G and like I don't know, there's like other teams we haven't seen already. Like maybe T1 is also up there. I don't think it's up. I think it's way more competitive at the top of Pacific than I thought previously. So yeah,
and
which I think is a really good thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, on the side of C9 for this match, it wasn't just okay, yay, go kill. It wasn't
No.
just
It
yay at the
wasn't.
top of the
Yeah.
scoreboard. It proved to me that these players on C9 do actually have what it takes to, because you don't just dismantle a team like Paper X like that in that fashion unless you've got some seriously good talent. So yeah, it proved to me that C9 do kind of have what it takes, but do they have what it takes to beat DRX? I don't know. We'll have
It's
to
gonna be a
see
banger.
about that
Oh,
one.
I'm so happy.
But I don't want to say it's going to be a banger and then just
Yeah.
2-0 again, like DRX
Mm.
or C9 just 2-0. Like, I think it would be a shock if it was a 2-0, especially if it was C9. But if C9 2-0 that, I think they win the tournament, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many people had them making out of that
Okay.
bracket.
I'm coming with some spice. In a
Oh
bit.
yeah. In a bit. Okay.
But okay. Next match, the actual toilet bowl, in my opinion. Team Heretics
Oh my
versus Evil
God.
Genius.
No, I don't think you can call it that. I don't think
Oh,
you can
I am
call it that.
sure.
I am
I am
going
sure.
to call it that.
I agree.
I was okay. Here's the thing. Okay,
Bro.
I don't remember who said it, but somebody looked at Reddit and people were praising Evil Geniuses.
Yeah.
What is there to praise of?
Yeah.
No, I think they were good.
No. Like no. It's like
I think
no.
I think Potter made some very smart decisions in terms of the meta and using kind of gimmicky stuff
Okay,
in
yeah.
coordination with decent team play
Yeah.
to make up
Yeah.
for the lack of star power on that team.
Yeah.
But I think over time they'll get better, and they beat Heretics convincingly. And for me, that was enough.
Convincingly?
Look, I said
I
I
mean-
said in my VCT songs last time that they were 2-0 Heretics, and they have done. And then I said
True.
they'd beat MIBR, although MIBR didn't get through. But I think I don't know about the Talon game actually, because Talon are a lot better than I thought. But
Yeah.
But basically,
it'll
okay,
be good, I think.
I'm pretty sure that Team Heretics didn't have any plan going ahead. If they did, it's not working. That's for sure. I feel bad for my boy Weber. I don't know what's going on in the Heretics camp, but it looks chaotic.
It does.
And
Yeah.
I was not a fan of a lot of the players. I feel like even when people are like hyping up Kellogg's because the start of the match,
Yeah, 6
he
rounds.
still has the
okay.
choking. He still has the
Yeah.
choking when it comes. It's always been like that for Kellogg's. When he switches over to the other like side, he just chokes, and it's kind of sad because I know Kellogg's is a good player. I don't know if they need a performance coach. They probably need, and please
Yeah.
not that other guy that they had in the past. Please not him. I beg of you. He's gonna ruin it all. But overall, I'm just not really. I don't know what's. Heretics
Well,
just feels like a bottom feeding team right now. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but like that's
In the
the kind of
interviews
vibe
that
I
they
got.
had, like they've got the introducing the teams for lock-in kind
Yeah.
of preview videos. They were mentioning that they have a performance coach and that they like.
Is the man
Oh,
still
it's
there?
Kellogg's. Kellogg's was saying, yeah, we have a performance coach and he's helped us like become friends outside the game and stuff. And
Mm.
Yeah,
but
I
it
think
just
that
didn't. Everything just felt a bit odd. And then you watched
Yeah.
the match and it was just. It wasn't
Yeah.
good.
yeah, like honestly, I gotta
I feel
get something off my chest. Like this was for me the worst game of the entire tournament, like by far. And it was not because like EG wasn't like doing. I think EG had like good fundamentals. They had a game plan. They had everything like what you would expect from a professional team. But Heretics had none of those. Honestly, it felt like Heretics went in playing a ranked game. Like that's how it felt, kind of. And
It felt like that in terms of the roles as well. You have
Yeah.
like the carry Jet who like
Yeah.
gets tilted eventually, and then
yeah, just starts throwing. Maybe he
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
left the Discord call. I don't know. It really
I'm
felt
pretty
like
sure- here's the thing. I didn't see Neil like doing anything. I
don't
feel
know.
like this is a coaching problem right now, and it kind of hurts to say because I know how good Weber is. But then again, they have Nuzino as like the head coach, and he hasn't like shown a lot in 2022. His previous success was mostly on like, yeah, it was mostly on basically what was it? Yeah, on G2.
Yeah,
I
you-
think
that
if
also
a
wasn't
team
that
like
big.
this with like big names who kind of haven't done a lot, in the past year or so. Obviously Zeke, was a champion, but didn't qualify to anything in 2022.
Yeah.
I think when you have a team like this, they're only gonna get worse from here. I don't see, when you have a team of young coachable players, for example, like
also
EG, like
yeah.
they get better over time because of the talent development. When you have players like
Mm.
Mixwell and Avova and stuff, they're not gonna get better particularly.
Yeah.
So I really do worry for them going forward.
I'm also kind of scared about Avova's performance. Like
Mm.
he's still playing the same way he did back in the day, but the game's changed. I feel like he's behind when it comes to the meta, especially on his smokes role.
I mean, but generally the entire team, like what some of the agent comms looked behind.
By the way,
honest.
okay, look at this. Okay, he had 37 deaths.
Yeah, the highest on the
during that
server.
match. Yeah.
Wow.
And we have gone from that like an aggressive smokes player is good to that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Smokes players have to be passive and win clutches. Avova used to do that, but he could also play aggressive. He can't play aggressive anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel like the factor of like if heretics are going to like perform decent in the regular season really depends on the coaching and Avova.
Yeah.
And of course a little bit on Kellogg's, but I feel like he's still young and everything. I feel like he's someday just gonna like wake up and he's like, I'm gonna perform good and starts rolling.
Yeah, like generally my sentiment for this match, and I'm sad to say it, like EG looked okay, like good fundamentals, I agree, but Heretics looked so bad. I don't think that this team, which played 2 days ago or 1 day ago, like they would win like against anyone at this tournament. Like that was a very bad performance. Like Mixwell like flashed himself on the Ascent door, and he was still.
It made sense. Like the strategy was for Mixwell. He expected that they would destroy the door.
Yeah, I see.
So that's why he threw the grenade or like the flash. So that one makes sense, and I don't really hate on it. I think it's being clowned too much.
Yeah, that's true. I see the point, but like still, like I think Mixwell didn't look great, but he was the best player for them on Ascent. And like I don't know, like there was nothing positive for me to take away from Heretics. I got to be brutally honest. And I think EG performed all right. They just didn't like they hadn't have to do anything. They could just crossfire and win because Heretics would just I don't know like. Not even execute properly, and I was a bit I don't know, it was surprising to me because I think Heretics looked way more structured in that series against Paper X at the India Invitational that I was like actually like surprised, like why do they look so bad right now? Because at India Invitational they looked better than what they have shown at this event. So I don't know what happened back like behind the scenes, but there must be some things going on. I cannot believe that this is like just them having a bad day. I think there's something fundamentally which has to be changed before they go to Berlin.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, okay, next up, MIBR versus Talon. Let's just start off with Talon won and made the best fucking tweet I have seen in my life.
That was lit.
That
was very cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna have some bangers on Twitter.
Their content game is top notch, really.
It's top.
Yeah,
notch.
we said it last episode that they won the content game, and they win it. Like they keep going with it. It's crazy.
Yeah, something we forgot to talk about is the crowd.
Oh yeah,
true.
The crowd. It was so funny.
Loud.
It was hype.
In the loud
like
game.
the second. Okay, so what was it? Like I believe it was the match of MIBR. Like when Fracture last round. Like MIBR started winning and everything, and people were just hyping it up, like, let's go, we're gonna have overtime and everything. And then like Talon started winning, and there was just silence.
Yeah.
Total silence.
Yeah, it
like
was
you
a
could drop
library.
Kenny and you could hear it.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was it was kind of crazy.
The crowd was so fun because it was just like the Brazilians, they started winning, hype.
Yeah.
They started losing, total silence. You couldn't hear anything.
It's true.
It was fun. It was honestly fun.
I'm glad that one of Genji or Talon won because in fact I really love Genji, but if Loud had gone out, it would have been a shame because the crowd just go differently. They're just different for Loud. I'll be intrigued how they are for Furia as well. But I think for MIBR there was less people, but it was earlier in the day, so that makes sense.
But I think MIBR's crowd, like the crowd for MIBR was still like they were still on it.
Yeah,
It was still very nice support, very loud.
But Talon completely deserved that win. I mean, they looked really good.
Yeah.
And the thing with the content stuff as well, when they were on Xerxio, these players are actually really like interesting players. You know, they're good. I think Cruz he's quickly becoming one of my favorite pros. Just
he IGL'd, by the way. I didn't know if you knew. I didn't know it. He
really?
IGL'd. Yeah, he just tweeted after it. His was his first time IGLing on stage.
Oh, I saw that tweet.
So I was actually surprised.
He IGL'd well.
Yeah,
and he speaks really well as well. So I'm excited we're getting content about these players because they deserve it. You know, and they looked really good against MIBR.
Sushi Boys doesn't like sushi, but was still performing on top of like everything. Like he was a top fragger as an Sentinel. He had crazy impact. I don't know if you recall this one round on Fracture where he had this 1v2 and then like I don't know, he somehow won it, and like I don't know, it was kind of the momentum switch for Talon to go on and win this entire match in the series. Like Talon looked beautiful. Talon looked like I expected Paper X would look like. I was actually like surprised. And I would still say like MIBR didn't look that bad. Heat was very good, but I have to like I don't know. It sometimes felt like he was overcooking or like going too like overheating. Actually, like quite literally. Like I think he was doing very good, but then there was points where I had the feeling like Heat step back a little bit, like just turn it down. Like you cannot just like W key send it all the time. I think there are like some things MIBR has to work on, but I think they still look promising. It wasn't like total like they get stomped or anything. I think they look good, but they have to work on some things. And Talon, on the other hand, they looked ready for this tournament.
Yeah. But I think it was you who said about the Pacific League as well. It makes me excited for how competitive that's going to be.
Yeah.
You know, when you're going into it and seeing these APAC, you know, Talon, who was always second in APAC, looking really good. Also, Jit Boys and Garnets.
Yo,
they were really good. I mean, Jit Boy's not so much in the first map, but that's only to be expected, and he really put up some numbers on Fracture as well. So, you know, I think they're good pickups. We'll see how Patty fits in when he's back.
Yeah.
But you know, I think they could be seriously good.
Yeah. I think the stats doesn't suggest it, but Garnett, he looked to me like so good at some parts that I think like I don't even know if they need Patipan for real. Like Garnett looked very good on his role. Like he did a great job. The stats don't suggest it. Like maybe it looks a bit like
works well.
Yeah,
like really well.
Yeah,
I was just impressed. Like, just impressed. Like Talon got one fan. Like I'm a fan now. Like this was. I don't know. I'm just impressed. It was so fun to watch. It was a beautiful series. Maybe it was the closest series in terms of like the team's performance. Like I think this match was like very head to head. It felt like both teams could get away with the win, even though Talon went through. I don't know. It was just a very competitive match. It was so fun to watch. Not a storm.
I mean, I wasn't really that high on MIBR. I do think Muri's did a good job. Heat looked really good. FRC surprisingly
he looked good on Fracture, especially.
I was kind of like surprised by that. Because I didn't really see him a lot during those rounds. He made some mistakes on Haven, especially when it comes to his calling. Like there were some times where his bots basically turned off, and it seems like he didn't call it to his teammates. Which is important when you play a Sentinel role.
Sure.
So
yeah,
but yeah,
but they looked decent.
Yeah.
The only thing is in how competitive the Americas League is looking at the moment, I don't see them making those land spots. But with a few roster changes, who knows? They could.
I don't even think roster changes are needed. I mean, they have.
But
VCK.
to get top 3,
to top 3, I think
Americas or top 4 even. You know, have all of the NA teams who look really good so far.
I think
at least
MIBR might be able to do a miracle run.
Whoa, that's a hot take. That's a hot take.
That is quite a hot take.
I might put them as a dark horse.
Because over them currently, I would put. No, in fact, I'd put everybody over them. I'd put all 5 NA teams over them, and I'd put Loud. We haven't seen Fury yet, but Loud, Leviathan, maybe not Crew. Maybe they can beat Crew, but NA, the consolidation of talent in NA is like because there's only 5 teams
I don't
for a
know.
region
I think they
you know.
could beat EG.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm not like I don't know. EG didn't impress me. Like I think it was alright. They did what they had to do, but like MIVR looked good. I think.
Ethan looked so uncomfortable. I'll be
What?
honest. He looks really uncomfortable. He looked good in the game, yeah, sure.
Okay.
But when you just see him like in the videos and all of that, he just looked
Okay, I see
so
what you mean.
uncomfortable.
Bro's
So I'm
going
not
plus
sure.
20. Bro, he's
No,
going
yeah,
plus
like,
20.
His performance was good and everything.
Yeah.
But he just looked uncomfortable.
I
like,
think,
outside of it.
but I think that's how XSET looked for the entirety of their existence. But then they managed to get like 5th at Champions or something. So
Mm.
I have high hopes for this roster. In fact, I think they're beating DRX. No, I'm joking. They're not. I'm joking. But I think they will. I think EG versus Talon, whoever wins, I think will deserve it. You know, I think it'll be a close
I agree.
series.
I agree.
And I'm excited to watch it. All of these matchups in the second round matchups are absolute bangers. To be fair.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, we could go on to the second round.
Should we just make some quick preds real quick, or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
let's
do
do
some quick preds and look over
yeah.
any glaring mistakes we made in the first round.
First match,
while we do
Energy.
Energy versus Giants.
Easy clap. Easy.
I really want NRG to win.
Yeah.
Just for the entire tournament storyline, and so I never have to look at those jerseys again from Giants. So, yeah, I'm gonna pred NRG there.
Yeah, me too. I think Giants goes in as like the underdogs of this matchup, but potentially they could make it. Would be cool, but I go with Energy as well. They look so good, like so good. I can actually not like put the preds here because they are locked, but like Energy, Energy going through. All right, Loud Carmine Corp. I mean,
Loud.
Yeah, yeah.
If Carmine Corp win this game, I'm joining the blue wall. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Carmine Corp,
me too.
I think they might have what Team Liquid used to have, which is the power of tripping to LAN events. Like the thing was with Team Liquid, they looked off in their regular seasons and everything, but they always found a way to just somehow just trip their way into a LAN event.
That is true.
I have a feeling that Carmine Corp is going to have that effect.
But I don't think Carmine Corp have the quality to make a run through an LCQ or something like that.
But here's the thing. Like when you think back to Team Liquid, they also really didn't have that sometimes.
They had quality players.
They had quality players.
They had quality, sure. But like overall, when you just looked at their gameplay, it wasn't that good. It was chaotic. There was a lot of questionable agent picks and all of that.
Yeah,
I agree with that, but you could rely on Soulcast and Yampi to like put up big performances when they needed it.
Or
Nevero
Scream.
I can't rely on Nuzera and
think back to 2021.
I'm thinking back.
I think back to that and just think about Yampi Operator.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about that?
His op was good,
but he was switching to Valorant back then. Like it was like his.
It wasn't good.
I mean, like
you saw him over peaking stuff 24/7. Split PTSD. The man kept peeking mid and died every single time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I gotta say, like, it's still like
they had Link as well. Then don't forget, and he looked seriously good in that LCQ.
I mean, the man was a clutch factor, that's for sure.
Yeah, but like generally, I would say like okay, Yampi was like switching from CS to Valorant. He was definitely overheating a lot, but I think he like worked on himself. And like Yampi looks insane right now. Like I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I think what Liquid had was like 5 players who could individually step it up if needed. And they also could set up Scream on like perfectly, like they had like the utility usage, like all of those things were there. While we have Carmine Corp, where I don't have the same trust in all of the 5 players as I had on Liquid back then. And like setting up a star player like Liquid did for Scream, I don't see that as well. So like on those aspects, Carmine Corp looks weaker, but maybe like they can I don't know if they can like at least for the Loud versus Carmine Corp match.
I can see an upset. And that's just like straight up out of like they're gonna trip their way into a victory. That's just the vibe
I don't think they trip their way into a victory against the world champions. Unfortunately, if Loud didn't lose to Gen G, they're not gonna lose to Carmine Corp. I don't think. Also,
okay.
I was gonna say, it's like when we talk about quality players on Liquid before, you had Soulcast and Yampi, and now on Carmine Corp you have what like Shin and XMS and Newzera. Soulcast and Yampi stayed on Liquid as a franchise team. They're playing with Nats and Redgar, and Safe. Like that shows, in my opinion, how good they are, or at least what the perception of how good they are is. But you can't say if Shin and Newzera were on Liquid, they're just they would make roster changes. They would change those players. So, I don't think Carmine Core will make very many LANs. If there is a LAN in France, I want to see them there. But
I come actually with a hot take. I'm gonna do the Bo cosplay. Carmine Corp just trolled versus FPX, knowing they will own them. But now Scream is back on Reyna, and he's gonna shit on Aspas.
Cap.
No, Aspas is the truth.
Aspas is the truth. Aspas is the truth.
Bro. Now you're cooking more than me.
Yeah, I am.
Imagine
we're gonna get
if that actually happened though.
Yeah, imagine.
But I need to see Loud
there is
go
a fine
through for
line
the crowd.
when it comes to cooking. All right, and you put too much salt.
But I mean, Scream on Reyna, he can make it work. I can see that.
I have to see Loud like at least in the semis.
Yeah,
because that crowd is too good.
When you look at it, Reyna hasn't had a single pick right now. It's the only agent that hasn't been picked yet. Ooh. So if somebody would do it, it's probably Scream. I don't expect it at all.
Yeah, I'm not predding Carmine Corp, by the way. I'm predding Loud 100%, 100%. But I'm just saying
we should probably change now. So okay. Loud, Vamos. We shouldn't jinx anything.
True.
Maybe except not okay. Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, DRX versus Cloud9. DRX.
Yeah. It's a hard. I think it's a very good matchup. I hope it's gonna deliver what PaperX versus Cloud9 should have delivered, and I'm gonna pred DRX because I'm a fanboy of DRX. So yeah, I'm gonna go with DRX. But I hope, I don't know. Generally, I just want a good game. That would be nice.
I'm outnumbered already, but I'm gonna pred Cloud9.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they just looked complete. It looked effortless against PaperX. To be honest.
I agree.
And you can say, well, they didn't have to show, them more deep stuff, but they have Ye. I mean, they're gonna have, stuff to be able to set him up, and he even looked good on Sage. So I'm gonna go for a Cloud9 upset because I think it would be an upset if Cloud9.
No,
did take
I wouldn't.
But...
I don't think.
It would just show that they are actually
the
super team.
Yeah. I would like that just for the aspect that people were talking so much shit on Zappa and Vanity and oh, they are not good and I don't know because last year they had a bad year, but they were so good in 2021. They I don't know generally the core of Cloud9, Leaf, Zappa, Vanity, I like them a lot, and I think they deserve to prove the world wrong. So I would love to see it, and I think they have proven it versus PaperX, and if they can do it once again versus DRX, Cloud9 probably is one of the favorites to win the tournament.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, next up, Evil Geniuses versus Talon.
Yeah, I gotta go with my Power Rangers.
Command?
I put my stocks in. I put my stocks in EG.
So... He did.
I really don't understand why you guys are rating EG so
because
low.
It was so boring. I don't know.
Yeah, it was boring because Heretics were bad.
Yeah,
but the fact that Kellogg's was playing that well, and they still managed to just shut him down and win the series. I'd say convincingly, 2-13-8. I think that's pretty convincing, and the manner with which they did it was convincing, in my opinion. So So in my opinion, I think EG just sneak out a win here in a very close game. But I think they look good. I think they did look good. And I know Ethan looks uncomfortable in the content, but his performance was you have to admit his performance was great.
But it's all about the content game,
Sure. But yeah, Talon, easy.
Yeah.
I need more content from them.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
I think that's it with the Prats and with the Pickems.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So something that we also have to talk about is expectations for the next couple of matches. We have already said who we pred and everything, but what do you expect? Something spicy? Would there be something happening or something? Because I have a pred. I was
gonna say this topic sounds
this sounds like me cooking, and it is. All right. So when you look at the arena, if we can find real quick a picture of the arena, they're basically on some sort of upper part kind of thing, like a wrestling thing or something. I don't know what you could call it.
Yeah, I got a bit of UFC vibes. I agree.
Yeah. Somebody's going to drop their chair down. Like,
what?
Did you guys see like did you guys see the NRG video? They did like a vlog. It's already out now, and yeah, like basically like FNS and artists, they were already complaining about it because like when they like win something, they usually just do this and like the chair starts moving.
Okay. Oh, you
So
mean one
I
of the
expect-
players drops the chair?
Yeah.
Oh,
One of the players
okay,
are
okay. Sorry,
probably
sorry.
going to-
Okay. I thought someone from the crowd is throwing a chair. Like I was like, what?
No,
okay, okay. Like, okay, makes a lot more sense.
But honestly, I have a feeling that we might have a tech pause where somebody accidentally drops their chair down.
Yeah.
That is the most like random pred I've ever heard. It would be
I know, but it would be
interesting,
content.
but
Okay, all right,
Like,
we can take this picture
imagine-
here. I have this picture of Vanity waving, and you can kind of see the edge of the stage behind him. So yeah, I see where you're going, where you're coming from with this. Like, I mean, could happen, right? If someone is like having like a crazy clutch and a team jumps up and like the chairs just go back, yeah, maybe. But maybe they have thought about this, right? Like, they thought about some security measures, like.
I guess, but like if too much pressure, here's the okay. This is gonna sound fucking weird, but all right. There are some players who have like quite the thrusting abilities. We've seen it in the other like games and everything. Like they can start like throwing their chairs to like fucking Narnia.
I don't think anybody's gonna throw their chair off the stage.
No, they're not gonna throw it or anything. They're just like when they're gonna win. Like most players just get up and like accidentally just push their fucking chair.
But I mean, yeah, that could happen. But I mean, when it drops down and they get it up again, I mean, it's not a big deal, isn't it?
I mean, it would be funny.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I agree. I agree.
And it would be quite a weird tech pause.
Chair dropped. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, my expectations, like if I can continue with this topic, my expectation is that Loud versus K Corp will like hit crazy viewership numbers, and the crowd will definitely be loud. I think that we're gonna be amazing.
Oh no! I actually kind of forgot. There are a lot of Carmine Corp fans in Brazil.
True. Actually, this
Loud
is the
fans.
yeah.
Carmine Corp fans. Oh god,
Oh.
we're gonna have a football situation.
But actually, true. K Corp. There was a lot of guys with K Corp jerseys in the crowd. So and like I think it was basically the only team with a lot of fans at the venue. So yeah, that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be very entertaining.
Okay. What do you call those like those people in football? Those football fans who are like kind of crazy.
Hooligans, fanatics.
Yeah, hooligans. There it is. I kind of feel like we might have a hooligan situation. If it goes
Hooligans
bad.
is actually like that's such a cool name for a Valorant team. Imagine you're just like, oh yeah, our next match is up against the Hooligans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Oh, that should be good.
In terms of expectations, Loud Carmine Corp I think will be great. I think
The battle of the hooligans.
are we talking like just this alpha bracket here or
yeah, just the alpha bracket right now.
Yeah.
So
I think
we've already made our preds for the omega brackets. So.
there's kind of favorites in 3 of these matches, NRG, Loud, and DRX. And I guess you could say Talon's a favorite, but I wouldn't say so. I think out of one of those 3 matches, one of the upsets will happen. I think it's most likely to be DRX Cloud9.
Okay.
Because I just want NRG versus Loud in the next round, to be honest. So
imagine imagine a world where it's Giants versus Carmine Corp. Like what? That was just imagine the world.
I mean, on top.
EMEA on top.
I mean, we're down bad right now.
We're down bad right now. But all the good...
I love EMEA, but like I do not want these teams representing EMEA on the global stage. Like, just why couldn't they just put Na'Vi like in this bracket somewhere? And like instead of MIBR, just put Na'Vi there. Like, come on.
It's a bit frustrating to see all the perhaps S tier teams in the Omega bracket of EMEA. Like, it's a bit sad.
Yeah.
I mean, all the stacked like EMEA rosters are over here in the Omega bracket. So.
Yeah, for EMEA the tournament starts next week.
And Na'Vi and Liquid play like
Yeah, the second round.
almost immediately if they both get through, which I'm hoping they will. And then Fnatic play Sentinels first round. It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Like potentially all 3 of those teams like could be out early as well, just because the bracket is so brutal.
yeah.
Well,
But yeah, so that's my expectation for this next round of matches. Um,
Yeah, I think
so-
reasonable.
let's move on from locking because we've talked quite a long time about it.
Yeah.
As we should.
Just for information,
Oh.
we just got an alert here in Denmark about potential electricity loss.
Okay.
So if suddenly my power goes off and everything, that's why.
Okay.
We
All
literally just we got like a full on alert and everything about it. So
All right.
Okay.
just,
Okay.
just for safety reasons, all right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Anyways,
Okay. Let's move on to drama alert.
drama.
Oh
Did
yeah.
somebody
Drama?
say drama?
Hell yeah.
Now this is
No
we don't have an
way.
official Bo's leak corner, but this is
Yeah,
basically
this
Bo's
is,
segment.
there's no leak today. I could have maybe leaked something, but like I got to get approval from the player and like the organization before I leak that kind of stuff. But yeah. Okay, so where do we start?
Where do we start? It's up to
That's a
you,
good
Bo.
question.
Yeah, it's actually up to you.
I want to start off with the talent thing. I love it. I love it. This is good banter.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I think talent might need some more security.
Yes, actually. I'm gonna find the
because,
tweet, by the way. I'm
um,
gonna find the tweet.
I'm pretty sure that I've seen some of the most fucked up what was it, like WhatsApp? There was like a WhatsApp group where some messages got leaked of Brazilians. Kind
Okay.
of scary. And it just goes to show that like you
Yo.
need to be very kind to people.
And careful.
Yeah, and extremely careful.
Mm.
So I'm kind of like
Man, they're wilding on Twitter.
it's
Oh,
good. It's good. It's good trauma. But as apparently the hotel got leaked or something, so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
people
by
are probably
Giants,
gonna
apparently.
laugh. Like, yeah, it was some other teams too or something like that. It's like it was kind of chaotic. But yeah, I'm kind of scared that like we know that like Brazilians they can kind of go a bit overboard. So always have to be careful
Mm.
about that. And it's no hate to the Brazilians. I know there are a lot of kind people there, but there's also just some people who ruin it for the others.
Yeah, you're always gonna
So-
have a few bad apples.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah, true.
that won't take it professionally or seriously or
Yeah,
kindly like
exactly.
you said. So it is a shame.
Mm.
But Talon's
So-
content game top tier.
Yeah, like I
Best
just
tier.
opened some of the
Best.
banter they had. Like, I mean, this one with the box, right? Like this one is the delivery
Yeah.
of the. I'm just playing it in the
L.
background. Yeah, for the guys who are audio listeners, basically there's a box handed to MIBR and they open it, and inside of the box there is an L. Yeah,
Just an
Classic.
L.
just an L.
It's so good. I wonder what they have prepared for the other teams.
Yeah.
Like, is it just gonna be the same thing, or is it gonna
Nah,
be
they'll
something
do-
different?
That'll do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Certain.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any
Okay.
more drama? Or are we
There's
moving
of
on?
course like
More
the
drama.
vanity waving.
Yeah, I got the
which people
clip.
thought was too far.
I'm gonna show the clip in the
I mean-
background.
Yeah, I get why some people think it's too far because like it's a single bracket, like single elimination.
Yeah.
So it's understandable. But this is just normal, like BM.
But
This
I
is-
saw it at the end of the game. I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Vanity's always talking trash. And then
Mm.
I read the interview with
Yeah.
MCE about the guard last year, and me and the guard, it's not a love-hate relationship, it's a love-love relationship. But the fact that MCE was saying that Paper X weren't too gracious to the guard when they went home. Now I don't know how
I
much of
feel, I
that is
feel like
true.
maybe they misinterpreted it.
Yeah,
because there
probably.
are some times, and I also experienced that sometimes there are situations where members of Paper X can be misinterpreted with what they actually mean. So I'm guessing that there's like a
Yeah.
miscommunication.
But I saw his tweet that said, "This is for you boys," and then he
Yeah.
added all the guard players, and I was like, Let's go. I was like, I'm all for
I
it
mean,
now.
I'm interested to find out why exactly, if there's like internal stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like overall, I'm not really sure if like this is.
But even if it was the
it's
case,
bad.
right? There was a bad blood between MCE, the guard, and like PaperX. Like, why is
PaperX.
Vanity the guy standing up and like being like,
He's
bye
on
bye,
hero.
man?
I'm pretty sure like he also did it like on the other lands he was at.
Yeah.
I believe he did.
Yeah,
I
he did
believe
it always.
also in Reykjavik. Yeah, so it's just normal for him.
Yeah, that's true.
People just
He
think it
loves-
went
yeah,
too
he
far.
loves getting in
I
people's
don't really.
heads.
Yeah, I don't think it went too far. It's just Vanity's way of
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
psychological warfare.
I remember the
Yeah.
time when like Liquid sent home Cloud9 and then Soulcast stand up and he was like, go home, and like waved the airplane to him. Like, I think it's just a thing. Like, it's happened all the time. I think maybe just because of the interview, this one in particular got like a bit like heated up
this
because
one
like
was personal.
yeah, this one was personal because the interview popped up and everyone was like relating it to each other, but probably like Vanity is just Vanity, like happy to send them home and being like, and like also like Cloud9's perception before lock-in was like, oh, they suck at home ground, they're not a super team. And now like I think he got a lot of things off his shoulders and just was like, here, we proved the haters wrong, here I'm waving to the haters, and like, yeah, PaperX just because they're here. And yeah, I don't think it was personal or anything from the side of Vanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is there of drama? Oh yeah, there's an imposter among us.
Actually true.
Wait, what?
Or not really among us, but among them. So apparently, there's somebody going around and yoinking peripherals from pro players. Gen G players King and Secret have lost their earphones, which were in the practice rooms and were suddenly gone. And apparently there might even be more things that are gone from other teams' practice rooms. So there's an imposter among the players there, or not really players, maybe among staff or something. I don't know.
Imagine it was
really
like
blame anyone.
Imagine it was like Angel and he like he was just hoping like he'd to play them and then like dangle their earphones in front of them while they're on the stage or something.
I mean,
stupid like
I
that.
wouldn't be surprised. A Secret is there's something about Secret. He always has like the top level of like of peripherals. Like he's also got like the routing keyboard and all of that.
Okay.
I'm not surprised if he has like some sort of like $500 earphone. Those like EDM or what are they called? Like those very like expensive small earpieces that you put in. I forgot what they're called. I wouldn't be surprised if you had things like that, and like sure, like there's probably some person who maybe doesn't have it good financially who like kind of saw that as like something that he could sell. Who knows?
Yeah, it's so sad though, kind of, right? Like that the players can't even leave their stuff in their practice rooms, or I think it was like I'm pretty sure he left it in some space of the team, right? It wouldn't be like just I don't know, backstage open. Like it should have been like probably in their prac room or something. And I think it's a bit sad, unnecessary.
What I saw, people need to pack their stuff after they're done in the practice room. So it's probably between breaks or something.
But they shouldn't really have to.
Yeah.
But you know, it's
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So if anybody sees Secret or King's earpieces in Sao Paulo, let them know, please.
Yeah.
We will.
Missing. We'll just make like missing posters or something. Like that.
We hang them out in front of the stadium.
Yeah. Wasn't it? Have you seen this?
Yeah. Have you seen this earphones? Another piece of like, I mean, low-key drama is like Artis, who is claiming Energy Artist. The main reason why I don't value this event is because even if you win, you don't get into Tokyo, and that's just not good. And if you go a bit further into this article, he even says, I think it doesn't even matter at all. Whoever wins this event, it doesn't prove anything, doesn't do anything. A lot of teams in the past who have won the event have been knocked down in the first round. Look at Optic, look at FPX. A lot of teams have lost the first or second game at the event and then gone to win this event. So yeah, basically what we think about this like statement in general, like do we think like teams don't take this tournament as, let's say, like serious just because like the prize or the whatever you can get from the tournament is not that big, or
it's less about the teams not taking like their matches seriously, but it's about people not taking the results super seriously, because like he says, people can lose in the first round. Who knows? We might have seen Genji, if this was a double group
Yeah.
tournament, we might have seen Genji lose in the first round. Then they get through, beating the other two teams in their group, and then they go on a massive run. We could have seen that. We didn't. They've gone home.
Yeah.
But that's just the way this tournament is.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
agree.
going to be the same for all of them. And Ardis, I'm sure. I mean, he's obviously can have his opinion, but he can't change it now, really. So all he can do is play, and that's what he's doing. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame him for not enjoying the format, but
Yeah.
it is what it is, really.
I think Bo's cooking something.
Oh god.
Content tournament.
Yeah, it is.
true.
I mean, it kind of is, and I understand Arda's statement. I think the statement was
Yeah.
released after the first match, and they won it, right? So I think it was a bit interesting, and I understand the critique. I kind of agree, though, that the winner of this tournament should have probably got a direct invite or something.
But that wouldn't really be fair with the format.
The problem is,
Yeah,
the
true.
problem is, if they get a direct invite, what are they playing for in the league?
Yeah,
this
Yeah,
first
exactly.
split,
What
that's
are they
true.
playing for a
You're
regular
taking
season?
away-
Like,
yeah.
the
Might as well
regular
just-
season needs to be
Just
hype.
forfeit. Like they might as well just
Yeah.
sandbag. Like
Yeah.
that's
you know?
true.
I mean, isn't that the same thing with Sentinels? When they
Wait,
won
what do you mean?
Reykjavik and they were certified a spot for the next
Yeah,
Masters event,
I
they
mean,
were kind of like sandbagging, actually.
wait, is that how that worked in the first year?
Yeah, in the first year, at the start, it wasn't going to have like a certified spot for the next Masters event, but suddenly it was. I'll try to find it real quick.
Yeah, I think it was. Like, I think Sentinels had a direct invite, and I think the
So-
same thing happened with Fnatic as well. When Fnatic kind of had like they knew they were at champions, I kind of felt like a dip in performance, like kind of like this pressure is off, and they're like, yeah, we can like just practice.
I mean, they did a good job during challenges after. They lost some maps here and there, but like they looked good enough, so you can't really include Sentinels on it. But I just kind of feel like when you win something and you have a certified spot, you kind of start sandbagging and you try to focus on the next event. I feel maybe that's something that also FPX did, because like they didn't have to play LCQ and all of that when they won Masters Copenhagen.
Yeah, I feel like
They're
if you
chilling
win
more.
Sao Paulo and then you don't qualify in your region for the event, I feel like there's been some version mismatch going on there. There's like, that
But
would
also
be
like
very
that
surprising.
kind of like you could just blame it on the format then.
Yeah, very true.
Sao Paulo is just going to be a one-off thing. It's not going to be yearly.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for RRQ to win Sao Paulo and then come 10th in their regional league. I can't wait.
Yeah, oh yeah, but this would go hand in hand with Arda's statement, right? Like that he doesn't like really care about the result. Whoever wins it, like sure, it's a good performance, but like it's not a given that they will perform good in the league or even qualify to any LAN in the future.
I think for NRG, that is actually a real thing. If they win Sao Paulo, they're not guaranteed in the Americas, especially to get top 4. So I understand it, but there's arguments for and against. And for the format as well. So yeah.
Do we have any more drama, or we
any more drama, or is that the end of the?
I mean, there is a drama, but it's not really.
This is going to be the most like
to
small thing ever.
Sao Paulo, but it's actually our next topic, which
okay.
is Turtle Troop.
Yeah.
So
the collapse of the free agent roster in North America.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. To be honest, I feel there is a lot of mismanaging going on. I don't trust the way Turtle Troop is going, and I really feel bad for Okeanis, because like before this even he was on City Boys for a long while, and then right before the qualifier they dropped him. And City Boys, they fumbled the bag. I mean, like they didn't perform well at all. So honestly, good for Okeanis. But then like he made Turtle Troop. I believe he was one of the people who made it. And they qualified.
Yeah.
So and like he had a lot of drama behind the scenes, which is not really related at all. It's already been fixed. Like people have already like apologized and everything is good, so it has nothing to do with the drama. Please stop bringing it up. Everybody is on good terms, so stop bringing it up. It's not a brand risk, it's nothing of that, because everybody is okay with it. So please don't bring it up again. Okay, Okeanos is a good fucking player, so I don't know why you need to keep bringing that stuff up. It's
Yeah, I
totally
think
unrelated. If it's
once
something where if
I
it's
understand if they're like if an org is coming to them and saying, okay, we want you to
but I don't
get,
think that's
we're
happening.
not happy with the
Yeah.
results and stuff,
Yeah.
then I do understand, but
But I don't think
um,
that's what's happening. As far as I know, Turtle Troop doesn't have an organization interested in them. And
Yeah.
it's also weird. Okay, to be honest, I feel like these roster moves are not good. Firstly, harmful. I have heard about his situation, and I wish him the best of luck. So it's understandable why he was let go. I have nothing against that. But then Okeanos, he played good. It was good, and I just feel really bad for him because he's been fucked over 2 times already this year by City Boys and now also by Turtle Troop.
it is a reminder of esports. You're never really stable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
also something to remember about North America. There is a lot of like friendship nepotism in the
Yeah.
scene,
Mm.
especially NA.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you can
And
say
that
it,
can make and break stuff.
like who the potential replacements are, but like this is just another example of like, yeah, I don't know. Can we talk about that? I don't know, Imbo.
No, we can't
Okay.
talk about it because
Yeah.
it isn't final.
But yeah,
or
generally,
VCT.
like I think especially like in tier 2, we see a lot of those friendships carrying people into teams, and I'm not too sure if that
Yeah.
is the
I mean,
best
it's
thing
the
to
same
do.
thing. It's the same thing with City Boys. I mean, like they replaced they replaced what was it? They replaced Okeanos with Poach. Poach didn't perform well. And they also introduced Raucous. They put in Konpeki. I mean, Konpeki is good either way. And Pancakes is also good. But it kind of feels like that Zachary just brought in his friends.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the vibe. I didn't understand the move of adding Raucous. So I'm just kind of like
I think
I feel as
once
if it's just the same thing that happened here, where it's just
once there's 12 orgs in challenges, we'll be fine. But that hasn't happened yet. I know there was some stuff about Moist possibly signing Breakthrough. I saw something about Ludwig had
that might
followed like all
happen.
of them on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool, and I think it's a much better investment than Turtle Troop, especially considering what's happened now.
I mean, the core that's left right now, I don't think that's going anywhere. Otter is probably the only one I would say is gonna stay. Governor, he still needs to prove a lot to me.
Yeah. Like also we are like mid split, right? Like I don't know. Like next week,
it's a bit odd.
yeah, it just feels like not a smart move. And like you can lose against FaZe Clan. Like I don't know, FaZe Clan I think was a bit underperforming the first week. FaZe Clan probably is one of the favorites of the group A, like probably much likely. So I don't think it's a like I don't know. It's kind of gives me the same vibes as like when the guard stomped T1 and they just dropped the like the Baby Bay
100 Thieves.
like that, like it gives me the same vibes kind of, even though like
But
now
also-
looking back it made sense, but in this case I won't think they get Sean Garris or DDK to like bring them back up, you know. Like
Turtle Troop's coach is Avino, I believe he's called. And people said like let Avino do his thing. He knows what's best and everything. But if you look at his track record, that hasn't been the case. I mean, he's been on a few free agent teams who had like glimpses of good performances, and then he was a very short time. He was from February to April. Was he under Oxygen Academy? But he hasn't had like the track record of a coach who can like bring a team up to the top. So I wouldn't let so much like give him that much hope. Like,
yeah, also like very like short
needs to impress a
stints.
lot.
Like it was November 21 to December 21 on Ooga Booga, then January 22 to February 22 on Moon Raccoons, then for 2 months on Oxygen Academy. Rated Gaming, I don't know. Like he has never been on a team for more than a couple of months. So how is that speaking for being able to like make developments and like make those adjustments?
just don't see them being competitive in
Nope.
this Challengers League at all, especially considering the match they have up next. You got Breakthrough, who look actually really decent.
Mm.
You
There
have
might be a
G2,
honeymoon or something that might happen, but it's
but
very
I
unlikely.
don't know. I just don't see it. And G2 especially looked great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even OXG, they beat Shopify, which was a great match on them. So they've probably got, I'd say, the
Bunker diff.
3 hardest matches in Group A next.
Mm.
And they're very clearly the weakest team in that group. So
Yeah.
I don't see them doing anything in this split at least. And if they don't qualify for this mid-season invitational, you're
And
really,
also,
really
like,
behind on points.
Who would you even get?
Yeah.
Is there even like any upgrades? I feel like, okay, sure, you can maybe find someone to replace Harmful, but Okeanis, like he was pretty flexible. He used to be like a duelist player, and you could have just put Okeanis on duelist and then found like an initiator player. You could maybe even try to see if you could add, like, I don't know, Raucus maybe.
Honestly, just get Tarek and Shroud.
True.
Yeah.
Indeed.
They probably have
mean,
the budget for that, right?
Probably.
Imagine if it's just like an org that wants to like implement some players. That could maybe be the case, but again, I haven't heard any rumors of Turtle Troop signing with an org. So maybe it's Sonics. I don't know. Like maybe Sonics I feel like Sonics is probably gonna try to find a way to squeeze into challengers, and maybe they add Nerve or like, I don't know, like Rooney or something. Who knows?
What's the thing with the challengers? Is it like a promotion, demotion? Like, can you
There will
lose the
be a
spot?
relegation,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it will be like 2 splits. There's no relegation between them. It's
Okay.
only for the new year, but it's not really a relegation. They're just gonna add more slots apparently.
Okay.
Which I don't.
Okay.
Which I think is kind of unfair because we have also been fighting for more spots in EMEA, and for some reason NA will get more spots, and you're kind of like,
Interesting. I mean, okay, but EMEA is structured well differently with the regional leagues compared to NA.
yeah,
So
sure. Yeah. So, and now that we have talked a little bit about challenges NA, I feel like we should also bring up some EMEA and some other stuff. So there hasn't been a lot of matches since we last spoke. But I just wanted to highlight some things from different regions because like the viewership is down bad, and I just want to try to like get people interested in the other
Do
leagues.
CPR on Polaris.
yeah.
For real. I want to start off with Korea actually because they have now their playoffs, and Maru Gaming is on a tear.
Yeah,
got it open.
They went in the regular season. They were like, they were in the top 4 at the end of it, but they didn't look like a top 4 team for a while.
Wait, they Shadow Corp. What?
Yeah, they beat Shadow Corp really convincingly. I mean, it was 8-13 and 3-13.
Wow.
Okay. I want to see, like, I really like Rio Company as a team, and I really like Shadow Corp, and I really like Maru. So I want.
Oh, D+ versus Rio is still going on.
Yeah. Right now.
It's
I want Shadow Corporation to get through the lower bracket, and then like one of those 3 teams like winning would be great. They just get points for this, right? There's no. These are just like
it's just
playoffs.
points and like some prize money.
So yeah, we'll see who. Are Shadow Corporation still a free agent team?
They kind of are. The thing with Shadow Corporation, it's under an agency.
Right.
It's the same thing with Rio Company. So they basically pay for different things and everything, but they are still able to be signed because it's still an agency. So if an organization is interested, they can sign them. And as far as I know, I heard something about an Indian organization wanting to sign a roster in Korea.
Cool.
And I also heard that Live Sandbox have been like playing around about the idea of signing a roster here in Korean Valorant. And who was it? There was like I forgot the name of the organization. It's not KT Rolster. KT Rolster, they gave up on Valorant apparently. Bodork think Hanwha. Yeah, I believe they're called Hanwha or something. They were also exploring options, and then there's like a PUBG Korean organization, which is Ghibli Esports.
Okay.
So there are a few organizations that might sign a roster here and there. So we'll see about that.
And speaking
yeah.
of India as well, did you see the news that I think it was Velocity and Revenant, who are the two
Yeah.
kind of favorites going in, are joining rosters? I was like, "Huh?" But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, like, aren't
Velocity,
they
who are
just
signing Eccles
under
and
Velocity? Yeah.
Doma,
That's so
apparently
crazy. I cannot believe
they're
that actually.
joining forces to try and just create like a behemoth to just destroy that Indian league, which is
Yeah.
looking to be quite interesting actually.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of Velocity Gaming, mostly because of their owner. I think he gets away with a lot of seen as a big no stuff, especially in his stream. I've had some people send me like DMs of some things that he says, which is kind of sus. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm happy that Eccles and Doma have gotten offers and that they
Yeah.
are getting paid and everything. So
It's
yeah,
nice to see
I
them
also
back.
know. I also apparently Defo might be going to India too.
Really?
Other organization. But we'll see about that.
Wow.
And yeah,
Well, that's crazy.
yeah. So I feel like the Indian League is gonna be interesting, but not
Yeah.
really like people might be overhyping it. I don't think there's gonna be like a lot of interesting matches. It's gonna be really good for the Indian scene, or just the South Asian scene as a whole.
Yeah.
You can't forget about the other countries that are a part of that. And yeah, I don't have really much else to say about it. Something I have to talk about is Brazil. Because
Okay.
I am absolutely fuming, mega fucking fuming at this point.
What's
I just
going
made a
on?
meme. Like, okay, so when we look at it, surprisingly, Red Canids, who signed a roster before this, but didn't qualify, they eventually went to sign the roster that was supposed to go to another organization, but they had a better offer, so they went to Red Canids. Red Canids is doing really good. And then there is the very controversial team, the Union, because they have Pank and NTK, which are two very controversial players. So I'm not really like interested in seeing them winning it all.
Wait, why is that? I
So
haven't.
there was one about there was one who had like some cheating allegations.
Okay.
And the other one, it was like, I don't really remember. I believe it was some sort of harassment.
Right. Okay.
So I'm not really fond of the Union as like as a roster, but kudos to them for winning a lot and all of that. Odic looked really good. I was surprised by Odic. They didn't have the best roster before that, but they've been doing really good. Keat Stars have been kind of disappointing, but it's also a completely new roster since they sold most of their roster
to MIBR, right?
Yeah, to MIBR, and it's also like a mix between Stars Horizon and Vivo Keed. So, and you kind of expect Stars Horizon to make good rosters because they've always done that. Tropicalos look good. I'm really impressed by them. TBK, they have some map pool issues, but here comes the annoying part. I don't care about Liberty. Liberty fucking suck. I exclude them.
Yeah.
They are irrelevant at this point. But
Okay.
00 Nation.
You talked about these guys last week.
Yeah. There's so much money. They're just throwing money and everything. It doesn't work. It's shit. It's not the roster. They need extreme amounts of time, or you just need to implode this roster because it isn't working. They have Adverso, they have Xion, they have Artson, they have Prince, they have Berton, but they don't fucking win. I don't know what it is. I'm just not fond about this roster at all. I'm not. They gotta like do something at this point, because like I know 00 Nation has a ton of money, and it would just be sad to see them not get anywhere with the amount of investments that they put in their projects. Because that's always been the thing with Zero Zone Nation. I don't know what it is. They just made the worst decisions possible.
Well, that's
Tangent
that's
over.
Brazil. And
Yeah.
very quickly, just touching on EMEA very quickly, Ascend in Challenge League East, they're very quickly becoming one of my favorites for Ascension. They 13-0'd this past week.
Oh.
I know it's BO1s, but
Yeah.
you don't just 13-0.
The thing is, I still think Enterprise and Diamond are two contenders to beat Ascend. Here's the thing: like Team Diamond has probably the best players there are right now. They have the 3 prodigies that everybody's looking at. That is like Runner, Paddocks, and Party.
Mhm.
Those 3 players everybody's looking at. So they have so
Okay.
much potential. And then there's of course Enterprise, who have like Benji Fishy and Mini. Mini is low-key probably the best smokes player there is right now
What's in the
Um,
world, or
in the world, I would say. This dude
wait,
is
you
actually good
being serious?
What?
in the world. Yeah, I'll be
The
honest.
best
right now.
smokes player in the world.
Mini is so good.
What on
Like
earth?
watch their VODs. Seriously, this guy is big brain, massive big brain, massive. Okay,
Who's the best smokes player in the world?
Okay.
I am only speaking facts right now. Okay,
Oh, if Bo
Um,
says so, it must be true.
but yeah, I mean, Ascend look better now. But then again, Amorphosis
Who's on
hasn't been
Ascend
that
actually?
good. But yeah, Zero
Oh,
Tenacity maybe a bit more scarier of a team. But yeah, overall, East is I don't know why, but it's just like it seems so easy East. It's only really Enterprise and
Diamond and
Ascend
Ascent.
Diamond that actually
Yeah.
like look good. Rapid Ninjas have slowly become a team that I actually really like. But I don't know if this roster will be good for like the long run.
Yeah.
yeah.
The next matchup in this league is actually Ascent versus Enterprise. So the top 2
Yeah.
teams will face each other.
Ooh.
That's gonna be a very good match. So if anyone wants to, want to see how Tier 2 EMEA looks like, I think this is a very good chance to get an idea of what to expect. That's very cool. A very nice matchup.
All right. I think that's all we have time for today.
Okay, I just want to add one thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And it's very selfish, but please,
Oh my God.
please watch Polaris. I beg of you, please. There are okay. Here's some good news. There are starting to creep up some organizations, good organizations.
Oh, that's
So
good.
I feel like maybe Split 2 might be better. Unfortunately, it might not be better for cars, but we'll see about that. But there are some other organizations who are looking at potentially signing other rosters on Polaris. So I'll just say this: like, it's going the right way for Polaris. But all I ask for is Polaris, please do it better marketing. Just reset it all. I beg of you. It's not working.
And stop
things you
restreaming random games with 4
Yeah.
viewers on Twitch.
I mean,
What
that's
that-
kind of fun. That's kind of fun for us because like we could just sit there and just think back to the good old days. They weren't good old days, but like yeah, okay, they were actually.
But it was so random. There was literally like I don't know who played DRX versus BBL, and they just restream a game like from Polaris with 14 viewers, and I wonder like
It was fun.
Who is watching that? Who are the 14 people in that?
It's me, Ratsky, Robbie PK,
Okay.
Kicks, and like all of those guys. We're just making fun of each other like in Twitch chat, like Lamau, why didn't he peek that and all of that? Just laughing our asses off.
Yeah,
so it's us, all right.
Yeah, I do not understand those restreams.
I don't either, man.
Yeah, Polaris.
I have.
Looks to be
Polaris.
going in the right direction. So
yeah, and surprisingly, we
good.
actually aren't the lowest when it comes to viewership. Did you
I
guys
saw
see
that. I did see that. Yeah.
Thanks to like, it was especially like thanks to the watch parties.
Yeah,
we are actually the 5th most viewed league right now.
I mean,
that's not that still a high, but
it's better. It's better than expected, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like we were absolutely low when it comes to just the stream itself. So I'm kind of proud because like we beat East, who have, by the way, Benji Fishy. And Portugal surprisingly has decent viewership. Italy and MENA are down bad, extremely.
Yeah, I believe so.
So, but it's really thanks to like Slicky, Yinsu, and Tombis, who have been watch partying. I do hope that there's more watch parties incoming. I've been trying to get some Danish content creators to maybe watch party Polaris, but
They're just
probably not
CS
gonna
land
happen.
over there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, the watch parties in Denmark, like, there is Zero, but like Zero, he isn't a Valorant like streamer. He's a Fortnite streamer, and he only did it because like he was bored or something. I don't know. He wasn't interested in Valorant at all. He kept like clicking away and all of that. So, but yeah, I have a lot of hope for Polaris. It's gonna be good for Split 2, and I hope that people are gonna watch the playoffs. Because playoffs is gonna be bangers. I mean, there's the Hukars storyline, of course, where we might actually get playoffs, even though we sucked at the first half of Polaris.
That's how it is.
There is still hope.
Yeah, and also like for the marketing side, like the next matchup in Polaris gonna be Le Petit Bouffons, which is the team of Link, Cray, like it's a second place team currently versus Apex. So as well as like not just in East, also like in Polaris, we're gonna have the top 2 teams playing off each other in 3 days. So yeah, I think another good chance to get a impression of Tier 2 EMEA.
Here's the thing, I kind of feel like Bouffons might actually win this match against Apex.
Maybe, yeah.
I have a theory, but it really depends on how Luzu will perform.
Oh yeah.
Overall, with
stacked
Bouffons,
lineups,
it's always really about will Luzu perform, and it's also a little bit about will Russ be able to give the utility needed to win rounds, because there are some times where it's questionable Russ's decision making. But then you have, of course, Cray, Vong, and Link, who can really save a match.
It's gonna be a high quality game, I feel like. Like both roster looks so good from the players. Like I mean, Apex, we've talked about it last week. Like Enzo, Shadow, Mystic, Magnum. Like like I don't know. This is gonna be a very good match, I think.
Maddie has also been surprisingly good as a coach. He joined very last minute, and like they've been winning since. So I believe in the Maddie buff.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it turns out. Also, very quick update on Korea. Rio Company are probably about to go 10-2 up on attack on Ascent on the final map. So it looks like they'll probably take this series.
Wow. Wow. All right.
So yeah.
Cool.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Also, to end off, OC is a fucking mess.
I've seen so much stuff about that.
Bobo is falling together. They just had a match today where they had to like get a sub and everything. Because like Plix is going to China and like Signed is playing an Overwatch tournament or something. So it was actually content. There's a video Crunchy recorded part of the match, and they were just having a laugh, and I feel like that's pretty fun. It's unfortunate that Oceania has absolutely zero investments. There's only Mammoth and that 95X Esports, but those aren't really organizations.
Yeah.
So it's really unfortunate to see OC fall this way, because like the prize pool is actually pretty high. So I'm surprised that it has gone this way. Like the winner gets 14,000 Australian dollars.
I mean, maybe this will attract some teams and some organizations for the next split. I don't know. Like seeing, okay, there's actually something to grab, right?
Yeah. But then again, players, they deserve to have that prize pool given 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of organizations who just yoink a part of the prize pool or the entire prize pool. Kova. Anyways, that's
always cooking.
All right.
I'm instigating. All right, so I feel like that's about it.
Let's wrap things up.
That's about it for today.
This was supposed to be a mini episode.
No, it's a proper one.
It has gotten pretty pretty long. Also, something to update. We will be doing uploads as of every Tuesday now. So this will be the last episode that gets like dropped here in the weekends. And then from then on, we're doing recordings Monday, and then we're dropping on Tuesday. So,
also, all the people asking for timestamps in the YouTube comments, I can't do that until we've got 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So
So
subscribe,
please
and we'll be able to do it.
subscribe. Thank you.
Subscribe.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is the
Appreciate it.
answer.
And
for you
also,
there,
we
so.
will be dropping everything on the other platforms as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the podcast will be on Spotify. I don't know, Apple Music. Who even uses that at this
Everything.
point?
It will be on
Unfortunately,
everything.
it won't be on your radio. I'm sorry.
That's true.
I could
That is
try.
true.
But yeah. All right.
All right.
All right.
That's about it.
Thank you very much
So,
for watching. Hope you
Thank you,
enjoyed.
everyone.
And yeah, tune in next week.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.